can't keep saying that हो जाएगा, आज नहीं तो कल हो जाएगा. That is not the kind of attitude one must carry. So my name is Alfiya and I'm a physiotherapist. I run the company ALPHYSIO, and yes, we were offline, but since COVID, we are online too. So we are running offline and online. And my sincere thanks to the SoilCup team to getting in touch and having me share my experience with all of you all. So I belong to Pune city. I started my So I completed my graduation in 2011 and my postgrad in 2014. And I've been a working physiotherapist for the past 8 years. I started as a conventional consultant physiotherapist, and I have a lot of interest in my profession. So, building it further, expanding it further, I am here today. Just, working on building it more and more, creating the awareness, creating the importance of movement, why it's necessary to move, keep moving, especially for people doing desk jobs or athletes. Since I'm into sports, I'm a sports physiotherapist. I started off with athletes. So, building that arena of why movement and movement therapy, why exercising and why rehabs are important in your day-to-day life as well.
Wonderful. Ma'am, India as a country, because we all belong to a country of culture, and we all probably love to hear stories, right? So, why did you land up becoming a physiotherapist? What is the story behind? I mean, what you are doing today and why you're doing it today probably must have got some or the other trigger. So, what is that trigger? Why you're a physiotherapist and not running a boutique or a restaurant? So why a physiotherapist?
I always wanted to get into science, continuing into some kind of biology background. After completing my 12th, to be honest, I didn't score very good grades in my 12th. So, I'll just share very honestly with you that, just coming into the higher school and not paying too much attention to your academics, I got carried away during my 11th and 12th standard. And after completing my 12th, I didn't get very good grade marks. So, though my interest was always permanently in biology, but then since I did not get good grades, I opted to choose something else, with which my parents were a little disappointed. But that disappointment didn't come to me as an anger. The way they showed it to me, the way they showed their disappointment was just being just as normal as they are. They didn't really show it in the form of anger, so that somewhere, it struck a chord, and I was like, no, I'm not going to waste my life. I will do what I always thought I wanted to do. And physiotherapy, yes, because I had grandparents. My grandfather used to keep ill, so I had a physiotherapist coming over, treating him. I read a lot about movement science. I used to play baseball in school. I used to do karate in school, so we used to keep having lectures about movement. So I was always intrigued with the fact, and I always wanted to study and know further about this field. So yes, that's how this whole journey took place. I wanted to do, and I just got my CET clear and got into physiotherapy. So when I began my journey as a physiotherapist, like I already mentioned, that I was very intrigued with the subject. I loved the subject of movement, our body structure, the body mechanics. So I was always interested into it. That always drove me, more and more into it. And so when I graduated, I had my professor who guided me to, just assist a physiotherapist, a reputed physiotherapist in my city. She told me that even if she doesn't pay you for a year, just don't leave her, because she does exactly what you want to do. So just be with her, follow her. So that's how I got in touch with her, and I worked for about 2.5. I ended up working 2.5, 3 years with her instead of just, being with her for a year. Because that's how amazingly the entire subject was explored. And I happened to, just work more and more. My entire perspective towards looking at a patient changed. Being with her, I was able to do a lot of national and international accredited workshops. My treatment plan changed. That gave me a little edge overseeing or looking at a problem in a patient. I started doing workshops, started working. The quality of my diagnosis, to what actually can be the root cause of your problem. So if I'm having pain in my neck, can people just label it as a cervical spondylosis? It's a very commonly used term. But cervical spondylosis basically is only a wear and tear of the spine. It cannot be the actual cause of your pain. The actual cause of your pain is definitely going to be somewhere else. So getting to it, getting to get the right diagnosis started happening, and so did then the number of my patients and the quality of my treatment started changing. Then coming back to this, so that way the diagnosis changed, the treatment plans changed, and that's how the number of patients, the quality of patients kept changing. And I feel that's the area, or that's the point where I feel I have a cutting edge, in the sense that I always believe in conservative knowledge is not enough. Science is always expanding. There are new recent advances, new evidence-based practice that is going on day in and day out. So constantly keeping in touch, keeping in track with the current recent advances, the evidence-based practice, I think is giving me more, benefit, and it is making me able to connect more with the kind of clientele I want to connect with.
Has COVID impacted your kind of profession also, or how have you probably dealt with this kind of an adversity?
Yes, COVID did impact, because seeing anybody physically was not possible when the COVID actually hit, and nobody knew what it is, how are people getting affected. So physically one-on-one dealing with a patient was very, very difficult. That's when, it struck that why not try it virtually? Let's try and do it online. So we started this whole thing of, going online and getting in touch with patients. So it's not possible with people who are more bedridden or, with the elderly age group, but with the rest of the people. So like present date, there are trekkers, marathoners, golfers, swimmers. We have this whole group of people who train with us. We have postpartum women, so eventually who have muscular dysfunctions, who have back problems, who have problems in their abdominal muscles. So all the postpartum women. And one good part about going virtual is now that there are no boundaries. So we have people from all over. We just want to be on the social media. We want to be telling people what we do. And we have people from all over connecting with us, and there's so many people that we've trained in the past 1.5, 2 years. All of these, a very important industry that we were able to connect to. And I would like to, through SoilCup, try to get more of these people, getting more and more aware, is the small or medium-sized IT firms or people who do excessive desk jobs. So even if they are working from home, long sitting hours in front of gadgets actually impose a lot of negative or secondary effects onto the body. And lack of mobility, because the gyms are not working or you can't just go out. The lack of mobility is giving a lot of problems to people. So, doing rehabs with them, core workouts, So I'm also certified as a matchwork Pilates instructor. So me with my team, we organize Pilates workouts, core workouts with them. We do one-on-one consultation if, say, any of the employee is already facing a problem in their neck or back, whatever area. So we also provide consultations, and say twice a week, thrice a week, we organize these educatory sessions with them, when we are just giving them a basic idea of how things need to be, what, not taking too much of their time, of course, not more than 15-20 minutes. And then some days we take rehab workouts with them that would last for about 40-45 minutes. So this is something that we do in collaboration with companies. So like we collaborate with someone, and then their employees are our responsibility. And that's how, that is how we would like to also spread. So online, it's benefiting more population of people, getting the reach out more and more.
No, ma'am, you are absolutely, doctor. You are absolutely right, because COVID, in normal circumstances, none of us would have gone all out to understand the online platforms. Today, each one of us knows about Zoom and probably how to run a social media content. I mean, how important content is. Online meetings have become a very very normal kind of a thing for all of us, isn't it? Otherwise, we would not have met you. You would not have known about us. The entire scenario, the mankind has learned to stay with this adversity in totality. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing.
So yes, COVID, I feel, according to I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was just saying that COVID in itself is a very vulnerable and a bad disease, but it has also proven to be a little, it also, like every dark cloud has a silver lining. So there is a little, good to it also. So,
now my question is, when people start their journey as an entrepreneur, because you are on your own, nobody comes to give you a salary, you have to generate the revenue yourself. Like you, there are many people outside who want to become entrepreneurs and who are already entrepreneurs. Now there is a certain amount of struggle which is attached to being an entrepreneur, and some people get disheartened. So what is your message to such people, especially in these current times, of how they should be able to continue their journey as entrepreneurs? Because there is nothing above being self-employed.
So, as an entrepreneur or being an entrepreneur, the most important part that I have felt was before actually savings, like how my father used to be very, very particular about how I'm saving. So when you have the right amount of savings with you, the monetary stress is never something, because you will have a good day and a bad day. You will have a stressful period where you don't have anything to do, and some days that you are flooded with work. So in such scenarios, I feel that whenever you are generating an income, you should be very precise as to what percentage are you saving, what percentage are you investing, what percentage are you is part of your expenditure. So I think that is one important part which most of the entrepreneurs I have seen, especially my age, that there is, these proportions are not matched, and then most of the times they run out of funds, and it's also very difficult for small entrepreneurs to even find investors, which then becomes a problem. So that is one thing that I always kept in mind to follow. There's one more thing, that you should be goal oriented. You should have short-term, long-term goals. Your goals should be measurable, achievable, and time bound. You have to make your goals time bound. You can't keep saying that ho jayega, aaj nahi to kal ho jayega. That is not the kind of attitude one must carry. You should have specific, measurable, achievable, time bound goals, and you should have them both in short term and long term. So what I'm going to do a month from now, what I'm planning to do 3 months from now, and where I'm seeing myself 6 months from now. All of these, I feel, keeping a good track on your finances and having measurable and attainable goals, I feel these two are very important, that kept me on the track, because even I have seen hard days. We all go through good and bad, thick and thin, But I think these two things always, kept me going.